What dies on the cross for me? Not a messenger of God. It's not that God is up there, he sends his son, okay, sorry guys, you screwed it up now, maybe in 1,000 years, another Messiah. As Hegel says, what dies on the cross is God of beyond himself. It's precisely God as that transcendent power which somehow secretly pulls the strings. This is, I think, the secret of Christianity, that precisely God no longer can be conceived as, you know, we are in shit, we don't know what's going on, but we can be assured that there is nonetheless an old guy up there who secretly pulls the strings and so on and so on. This God abdicates. I think that something tremendous happens in Christianity, because remember, after the death of Christ, we don't get back to the Father. What we get is Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit is the egalitarian community bound by love. You know what Christ says when he's asked, how will we recognize if you are here? When there is love between the two of you, I am there. It's just the immanence of an emancipatory collective. This was the deepest insight of even good conservative theologians, like Paul Claudel, definitely not a communist, no, said something very profound. He said the deepest lesson of Christianity is not we can trust God, but God can't do anything without us. God has to trust us. So for me, again, this is a tremendously important message of freedom. Again, as my beloved Chesterton said, it's not Chesterton said, in all other religions you have atheists, people who don't believe in God. But Chesterton's reading of those famous Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, Father, why have you forsaken me, is that only in Christianity, and for him this is crucial, God himself becomes for a moment an atheist. And this is so tremendously important for me. I think far from this fashionable idea that the Christian era, you know, all that Aquarius bullshit is over and we are entering a new era. Yes, we are, but I don't like this new era. It's neo-paganism and so on. I claim that today precisely we should stick to this tremendous, explosive impact. We are still not ready to confront it of what Christianity is truly telling us, which is why I like to say paradoxically that to be an atheist, but don't be afraid, not in the Richard Dawkins, Christopher Hitchens sense, but this authentic atheism in the sense of experiencing the radical absence of any transcendent guarantee. And in this sense, for me, Stalinist communists or some Darwinists are not atheists, you know, they always have some higher figure of necessity and so on. You have to go through Christianity. My formula is not just that I try to give some atheist reading of Christianity, how God is really man, that's bullshit, but that only through the Christian experience can you reach the abyss of what I call atheism for me, which is something, again, much more radical than all the bullshit of Richard Dawkins and so on. My problem with them is that, of course, in some stupid sense, it's true what they are saying. We are probably the result of evolution and so on and so on. But it simply absolutely doesn't work, as there is absolutely no insight for me in Dawkins and so on of how a religion effectively works. It's a whole dimension is missing there. They're even, I claim, mostly totally wrong about the status of belief. Belief is for me something very mysterious. Like, do we really believe? How do we believe? I claim that in contrast to those conservative critics who claim we are entering an era of disbelief, a godless world, hedonist, and so on and so on, I disagree totally. First, we don't live in an era of hedonism. We live in an era of strictly controlled, regulated hedonism. You know, like, what do I mean by this? On my flight from Europe here, I read in Hemispheres, the Journal of United Airlines, one of the most depressing articles that I've read. It was an article celebrating sex, why sex is good. But it describes it in these pragmatic terms. They say a good orgasm helps heart working, blood circulation is good. kissing fortifies your lips and so on, whatever good, I don't know. It's an, you know, this is how. Yes, sex, but healthy sex. Yes, drink, but beer without alcohol, whatever, whatever. The only true hedonists today are those who take drugs and especially, for some strange reason, those who smoke. And which is why, to avoid a misunderstanding, I don't smoke. And I agree, we should screw the companies. But nonetheless, there is something deeply symptomatic in how we, in this obsession with the danger of smoking. Like, I had a wonderful experience in Chicago half a year ago. In front of a hotel, I was waiting for a friend to pick me up, and there was a distinguished old black gentleman there smoking. And he told me, of course, with a little bit of irony, but nonetheless, there was a bitter truth in it. He told me that he's from the South, and when he was very young, he still remembers racism, I mean, how he was oppressed at black. And then he said, but it's not as bad as now being oppressed for smoking, you know. Because just think about in Hollywood, who is smoking today? Mostly terrorists who are afraid to blow themselves up and so on and so on. This is the truth of our hedonism. As to believe, it's not true. We believe more than ever. We just invented something absolutely breathtaking. That beliefs, in order to function, to operate, don't have to be first-person beliefs. You can literally believe through others. You know the formula of parents, like, we are atheists, but not to disappoint our children, we pretend to believe, you know, the Santa Claus story, you know. You ask a parent, do you believe in Santa Claus? Yet, are you stupid? Of course not. I buy the presents, but I pretend it for my children. Then you ask the children, do you believe? They said, no, we pretend it not to disappoint our parents and to get the... Like, what's my point here? You have a belief which is nobody's belief. No one believes in the first person, but it fully functions as a social belief. Here, and now I will stop, I will not go the full Fidel Castro way of talking for 7 hours. Here, you did a mega contribution. By you, I mean United States, especially you here, Hollywood. Your greatest contribution to 20th century world culture, I would claim, is, sorry, my old joke, canned laughter, you know. Are you aware what a strange phenomenon this is? You return in the evening home. You open up a stupid show like Friends, Cheers, and you are too tired to laugh. You just look. And the TV set laughs for you. It works, at least with me. Afterwards, I feel relieved as if I was laughing. So much about primitive people. We claim, because we have traditional examples of this, like, you know, the Buddhist prayer wheels. You write a prayer, you put it there, you turn around the wheel and you can think about pornography, whatever. In reality, you are praying. We are the same. This is canned laughter. And I claim that beliefs function in a strictly homologous way. What we need is not believe in first person. We need to believe that there is someone who believes, even if that someone is purely hypothetical. So for me, the truly Christian gesture, now I'm approaching the end, is precisely to abandon this objectified belief. Like, let me give you, now I conclude, an example of what I mean. And I hope you will agree that it would make the movie much better. Probably we all know Roberto Benigni's film, I don't like it, La vita è bella, life is beautiful. You know the story. Father, son are taken to Auschwitz. Father, in order to save the trauma, the son, to protect him for the trauma, tells him a bullshit story, that this is not really prison, it's just a big competition site where we can leave whenever we want, but if you remain to the end, there will be a big prize, and so on and so on. You know what would have been a way, I wonder if you agree, to make it a much better, desperate film, that the father were to discover at the very end, when he's to be shot, that the son knew this all the time. Just he pretended to believe his father to protect him. This would be the proper Christian reversal, as it were. And the movie, again, this is why I don't like it, it's not strong enough.